Welcome to The Past in Focus. Tonight we embark on a journey through one of the most controversial and secretive operations in American history, Operation Paperclip. This clandestine mission, shrouded in secrecy and moral ambiguity, has left an indelible mark on the post-war world and continues to spark debate to this day. After the end of World War II, the United States found itself in a race against the Soviet Union, not just for territorial dominance, but for intellectual supremacy. The spoils of war were not just land and resources, but also the minds that had driven the war machine. Operation Paperclip was born out of this fierce competition, aiming to bring the brightest scientific minds from Nazi Germany to America. This secret US mission smuggled over 1,600 Nazi scientists, engineers and technicians into America after World War II. These were men who had worked on some of the most advanced and deadly technologies of the time, including rocket science, chemical weapons and medical experiments. The ethical implications of this operation were profound and far-reaching. Men who once worked for Adolf Hitler, contributing to the Nazi war effort, were now working for the US government. They were given new identities, new lives, and new purposes. The very scientists who had once been enemies were now seen as valuable assets in the Cold War struggle against the Soviet Union. This raises a critical question. Was Operation Paperclip a necessary evil to ensure American superiority in science and technology? Or was it a dark betrayal of justice, allowing war criminals to escape punishment and continue their work under a different flag? The operation has been the subject of intense scrutiny and debate, with opinions divided on whether the ends justified the means. Stay with us as we delve deeper into the hidden truths of Operation Paperclip. We will explore the motivations behind the operation, the lives of the scientists involved, and the lasting impact of their work on both American society and the world at large. Through declassified documents, expert interviews, and historical analysis, we aim to shed light on this dark chapter of history and uncover the complex legacy of Operation Paperclip. The year is 1945. The war is over, but in the shadows, another war has already begun, the Cold War. And this war won't be fought with guns, but with intelligence, technology, and science. Here is an archived radio clip. The world watches as Soviet and American forces carve up Germany. A new battle begins, not with weapons, but with knowledge. The US and Soviet Union scramble to seize the minds behind Nazi Germany's most advanced weapons. The Americans launch a secret initiative, Operation Paperclip. The goal? Recruit the very men who built Hitler's war machine and bring them to America before the Soviets get to them first. One of the most famous recruits, Wernher von Braun, the mastermind behind Hitler's deadly V-2 rockets. Von Braun was a brilliant engineer, but his genius came at a horrifying cost. During World War II, he led the development of the V-2 rocket, a weapon that was revolutionary in its design and devastating in its impact. These rockets were launched against Allied cities, causing widespread destruction and loss of life, rockets that killed thousands in London. The V-2 rockets were a terror weapon designed to strike fear into the hearts of civilians. They were the first long-range guided ballistic missiles, and their impact was both physical and psychological. London in particular suffered greatly under these attacks, with entire neighborhoods reduced to rubble and countless lives lost. Rockets built using forced labor from concentration camps. The production of these weapons was a grim chapter in human history. Thousands of prisoners from concentration camps were forced to work under inhumane conditions to build the V-2 rockets. These laborers were subjected to starvation, beatings, and brutal working conditions. Many did not survive the ordeal, and those who did were left with deep physical and emotional scars. And yet, instead of facing justice, von Braun became the face of the US space program. After the war, the United States saw an opportunity in von Braun's expertise. Through Operation Paperclip, a secret program to recruit top Nazi scientists, von Braun and his team were brought to America. They were given new identities and new lives, far removed from the horrors they had been a part of. Von Braun quickly rose to prominence in the US space program, playing a key role in the development of the rockets that would eventually take humans to the moon. Here is an archived interview. We were starved, beaten, and forced to build these weapons. The voices of the survivors tell a harrowing tale. They speak of the relentless brutality they endured, the constant fear and the unimaginable suffering. These testimonies are a stark reminder of the human cost of von Braun's achievements. While he was celebrated as a hero in America, the survivors of the concentration camps were left to grapple with their trauma and the memories of their lost comrades. And yet, after the war, the Americans treated von Braun like a hero. He was awarded numerous accolades and became a prominent figure in the American scientific community. His past was conveniently overlooked, and his contributions to the US space program were highlighted. This dichotomy between his dark past and his celebrated present raises difficult questions about morality, justice, and the cost of progress. The story of Wernher von Braun is a complex and troubling one, a reminder that history is often written by the victors, and the truth can be a casualty of convenience. The US government had a choice: pursue justice for the atrocities committed during World War II, or leverage the scientific expertise of former Nazi scientists to gain a technological edge over the Soviet Union. This decision was not made lightly, as it involved weighing the moral implications of granting amnesty to individuals who had been part of a regime responsible for some of the most heinous crimes in history. On one hand, the pursuit of justice would mean holding these individuals accountable for their actions, ensuring that they face the consequences of their involvement in war crimes. On the other hand, utilizing their expertise could potentially provide the United States with a significant advantage in the burgeoning Cold War, particularly in areas such as rocketry, aeronautics, and other advanced technologies. The stakes were incredibly high, and the pressure to make the right decision was immense. Ultimately, the US government chose the latter. They decided to bring these scientists into the fold, offering them protection and resources in exchange for their knowledge and skills. This decision, known as Operation Paperclip, was shrouded in secrecy and controversy. It raised profound ethical questions about the cost of scientific progress and the lengths to which a nation might go to secure its future. Here is an archived interview clip. Operation Paperclip is one of the greatest moral compromises in history. The United States knowingly protected war criminals because they believed losing them to the Soviets was a bigger threat. The program involved the recruitment of over 1,600 scientists, engineers, and technicians, many of whom had been members of the Nazi Party and had participated in war crimes. The US knowingly protected war criminals, providing them with new identities and shielding them from prosecution. This decision was driven by the belief that losing these individuals to the Soviets would pose a greater threat to national security. The ethical implications of this choice continue to be debated to this day, as historians and ethicists grapple with the complex legacy of Operation Paperclip. The Cold War era was marked by intense rivalry and suspicion between the United States and the Soviet Union. In this context, the decision to prioritize technological advancement over moral accountability reflects the desperate measures taken by both sides to gain an upper hand. The story of Operation Paperclip serves as a stark reminder of the ethical dilemmas that arise in times of conflict and the difficult choices that nations must make in the pursuit of power and security. Today, the echoes of Operation Paperclip are everywhere. The Apollo moon landing, built on the knowledge of Nazi scientists, advances in pharmaceuticals, aerospace, and military technology, all shaped by men whose pasts were whitewashed for American interests. History is full of secrets, and sometimes the truth is more unsettling than fiction. What do you think? Was Operation Paperclip a necessary evil or a betrayal of justice? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow for more of The Past in Focus.